Hello again. Today we are going to look at Understanding Money, Task 2, Activity 2, which is about tax codes. This follows on from our work last time about our rates of tax. Okay. So each employee is issued a tax code at the beginning of the year by the government. The tax code tells you and your employer what your personal allowance is and what rates of tax apply to you. So they're obviously individual in a similar way to the bands. Personal allowance is divided by 10 and a letter is added to the end describing the rate of tax. So for most people in Scotland, they'll have the code S1250L. So the S means you're in the Scottish tax system. The 1250 is our personal allowance of 12,500 divided by 10, which gives us 1250. And L means it's the standard rate of tax. So your tax code can change for a number of reasons. If you've changed jobs and that changes the amount you're earning, then you could have overpaid or underpaid, and the government might need to claw some of that back, so they'll change your tax code. Could also be that if you've changed jobs that you haven't passed on your P45 from the previous employer, which would have given them all the information to set you up correctly in their payroll system. The result of that could be that you can put on an emergency tax code, and that can affect your rate of tax quite substantially. If you've not paid enough tax in the previous financial year, they will reduce your personal allowance until you've paid it back. And then having company expenses such as a car allowance or a company car can affect how much tax you have to pay as well. That'll change your code. For you guys, when you start your first job, there's a good chance you'll start with an emergency tax code. The worst case scenario of that is that you have a tax code that doesn't actually give you the personal allowance, and then you'll get taxed the basic rate on all of your earnings. You wouldn't be given the tax-free chunk that you should have. That's then up to you to chase that with the tax office, and I would suggest doing that at your earliest opportunity. You don't want to end up with the taxman owing you lots of money. You'll be out of pocket, and it becomes more and more frustrating the longer you chase it. So get on to that quick when you start a new job, particularly if it's your first one. Once you get your tax code corrected, you'll get your tax back, but if you were being charged national insurance contributions, you don't get them back. They just go into your national insurance pot that you kind of pay into for your whole life. So if you want to try and make sure you're not overpaying, then get that tax code corrected quickly, and that will prevent any extra overpayments on your national insurance. Okay, a lot more information is available on the government website, gov.uk/taxcodes. And what I'd like you to do now is have a look at your workbook. So a couple of quick tasks for today. So it's Understanding Money, Task 2, Activity 2 in your workbook.